Today is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. We're out at the Liberty or Brook trailhead for Chicorowa. It's also the trailhead for the Paugus Trail, so we're going to start by heading up there. Looks like it's lightly precipitating, maybe snow. It's 31 degrees on the ground right here. We're going to go up to Paugus today. The South Paugus has ledges that are on 52 of the view. It's very nice. We've been there before. Paugus is about a 0.3 bushwhack away from there on the 500 highest. So we're going to go out to that. And while we're here, we are going to finish up the bottom of the Paugus Trail and beeline cut off, and also go up the top part, steep part of Old Paugus Trail, which we've done before, and then we have to descend it, so it's gonna be steep going that way. It should be a little bit over 8 miles, and hopefully it will get a little nicer weather. It was terrible north of Franconia Notch this morning. It was just nasty. We had snow on the ground, not a lot, but it was precipitating. Everything was socked in all the way to the ground. Drove through the notch on 302. It was not good. And then once we got south of there, it was like blue skies and nice. There's some blue sky right there, but it's kind of gross right now here. So we'll see what happens during the day. I think the high temperature up on Paugus is going to be in the upper 20s. Yeah, we've got spikes with us. We'll see. It rained really hard yesterday. So last night, we'll see how water crossings are. Okay, so we're not very far in, a couple tenths maybe, and there's a water crossing here, which in low water would be totally fine. We rock hopped it through here, and you did have to get your foot, you had to step on submerged rocks. I had to do it twice, and I'm wearing winter boots that are actually just like it's like a full plastic shell pretty much. So I was okay. John has on his old oboes actually they're not the old ones. They're sort of new, but I think they have like 500 miles on them. So they're not that new. They have quote unquote be dry technology, which I found did not keep my feet dry when I had them. So we'll see how he does. But something to be aware of. We're almost a mile in now on Paugus Trail. We passed 2 intersections, and it's just been open road like this, with the exception of the water crossing. Piece of cake. Our next thing, we'll hit another intersection, and we're gonna split to the left and take beeline cutoff over to Beeline Trail. It's lightly snowing, nothing sticking. We are at the split now, so Paugus Trail continues ahead. We'll be coming back that way. You can see it's also a snowmobile trail, and there are bridges. I zoomed in. There's a bridge right there. They are so slippery. That one has quite a slant coming down it too. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be coming back that way. This is the signage. Obviously, it used to be higher at some point. And once the snow comes, I don't know if people do it in the winter. I mean, it is used a little bit, this area, I think. I don't know if you can get to the trailhead. It's not gated, but it's a dirt road. Anyway, if you're out here in the winter, be aware that sign is probably not visible. I guess it would be all broken out nicely by snowmobiles, though, up until that point. And then there's a sign right here for the Sandwich Wilderness. No bikes out past this. I mean, you could bike if you wanted to get past that water crossing. There it is. Okay, so we're on Beeline Cutoff now. Reaching the end of the Beeline Cutoff. That was a simple trail. There were 2 water crossings. The first one was larger. There it is. Was larger than the second one. And we were able to rock hop it. Okay, so on the way back, we're gonna come back. Basically, we're gonna go up to Paugus, which I think is straight ahead of me, maybe, even though we're heading this way. Then we have to cut up. We're gonna go up beeline to Old Paugus Trail, take that steeply up to South Paugus, and then bushwhack over to Paugus, bushwhack back to Old Paugus Trail, come back down to here, and then we're gonna head beeline to Mount Chocorua, but not very far, and we're gonna take that over to the top of the Bullis Trail. Well, not the top, but the kind of the part that we haven't done. So we'll take it over to Bullis Trail, take that down, and then pretty close to the car, we're gonna do the bottom of Bickford Trail, which is the last part of Bickford that we need, and then come down the bottom of Brook Trail, which we've already done. Okay, you got that? Basically, we're gonna do an out and back from here. And this section of Old Paugus is really quite steep. I thought it was hard to follow the first time we did it. It basically looks like it, there's a little water crossing. It looks like it goes up a slide for the bottom of it, and then you have to turn off of the slide. And then you still continue to climb steeply. Eesh. I gotta walk on this log. And there is a place, it's marked, it's not marked on Gaia, but it is marked on Far Out, and also mentioned in the guidebook that there's an extremely steep cliff. So if you go off trail for a view, I'd be very careful. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off so I can use my poles. There we go. Okay, we are still on the beeline cutoff. It started out pretty mellow. A couple of small water crossings. Then it started climbing and it had switchbacks, which did not feel like the original trail. I'm sure they weren't. And now we're just kind of in a drainage ditch almost. Definitely got steep there. We should be approaching the intersection with Old Paugus pretty soon, and then it will really get steep and not look like much of a trail. Unless it's been improved upon. Got a duck under right here. Okay, we finish up the Chocorua side, the Paugus side of the beeline trail. Holy cow, I have 1,600 feet of gain, actually a little bit more, and 2.75 miles, and I would say 2 miles of that was basically flat, maybe even more. Man, that was pretty steep. Not like steep climbing slab and stuff, which I think we're going to get into some of that on this little section of Old Paugus, because I believe we did not bypass that. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to go down that on the way back. I think it should be okay.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. There are some, like, this kind of route with leaves, so you just have to be careful. But there's no ice. Up here, it's a little bit colder now, so the leaves are kind of frozen together. Sticks are starting to freeze to the ground. But there hasn't been any glaze ice on any rocks or anything, which is kind of a little surprising, I guess. Okay, Old Paugus now. Okay, we're almost to the top of the climb on Old Paugus, and it was not the part that I remembered as being super steep, which I think we must have cut off. But it is still climbing, and there's a couple like this right here. Maybe I'll take a video after we descend, because we have to come down it. That is a little tricky. It's dry right there, so that's good. This is wet, but not ice currently. And
there's a bypass over here. I'm going to take that one.
There's a bypass.
Yeah,
Okay.
my boots just aren't.
No, I know. We're wearing winter boots, so we don't have the best traction on these bad boys. Where is the bypass?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not great, but
Yeah. Because I saw people had tried to come up along the edge here where this
that's
down
all slippery
birches, but then you got to get
there.
across here, and that is like algae and very steep. So that's not the way to go. Okay, that's mentioned in the book, this little section. Once we get up there, though, we'll be good to go. We're up to the little view ledge as you climb Old Paugus, and everything is pretty socked in. I didn't even zoom in. Got some view over towards, I think that's past Conaway right there, and maybe, oh, maybe not. Maybe that is. I don't know. But we're not to the actual views yet on South Paugus, so we'll go up there and check it out. I think that those were looking south towards, supposed to be towards the Ossipes, that view.
Oh, really?
I think. I don't know. It's socked in on the higher stuff, and there's low clouds throughout, so it is what it is. Okay, next stop will be the view ledges on South Paugus, and I think most of our climb is done, although now it's looking like there's a little bit more. Let's see. No, I think most of our climb is done now. Nope, I'm wrong. There is more climb. Wow, that looks like a big, sketchy open slab, too. Oh, yeah. Bottom part is dry. Well, that's going to be interesting, especially to come down. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so we're at a turn in the Old Paugus Trail, and this is a old spur that's closed that went out to Old Shag Camp. That's what it was. So see that dot right there, and we're the arrow. So we're gonna head down there and see if we can bushwhack out to that point or thereabouts. It's funny because this map does not show that on the high point, but this is an old 1930s map, I think. And then maybe, if it's really bad, maybe we'll come back and go out to the view and then whack in that way. The purple line is kind of my idea for how we would bushwhack this. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's very obviously still a path here. And we'll go check it out. Okay, so that was a disaster. We started out on that old spur trail that went into the Shag Camp, and it was totally well beaten. At the area where the old campsite was, it continued on. There was a herd path there for a while, and it seemed pretty well beaten. And we lost the herd path, and it just was like, holy wow.
There's a bog down there.
There's
Lots of blowdowns.
There's a bog, and then tons of blowdowns, and then super thick crawling. John and I got split up going up the stuff. There's also a cliff band that doesn't show up on Gaia. Holy crow, that was terrible. I actually had my pack off, partly because some of my stuff fell off.
Yeah.
It should have been secured, but it wasn't. And then I didn't bother putting it on because I couldn't fit through any of the stuff with it on. And it's not a big pack. So we're up on top of the cliff band now. The woods are way more open. And hopefully now we'll be able to get there in short order, and we will not be coming back this way. No way. Yikes. We made it up to the canister. Again, this is on one of the smaller canisters. The book in there is from 2018, and there's plenty of space left in it. It's dry. There's a pencil. We sharpened the pencil, so it's working a little better now. First check-in was from Zachary Porter, Cold River Camp Cook. He's everywhere all the time. And last check-in was Carl Gifford. Matt Kahn was on that page, and Brian Cudahy, so like the usual suspects. And what I had to say was, we came over from Old Shag Camp. Do not recommend. Terrible. Plus, I think it ended up being like double the length of what it should have been. Mine was like 0.65, I think. Oh, that was horrible. It started so nicely, though. You get lulled when there's a herd path. And we hit a spot where we kind of lost a herd path, and we actually turned around, backtracked a little bit, but then we still went for it. Not in the same spot, but we should have just walked back out. So now we're going to head towards South Paugus, which has the view ledges on 52 of the view, and I presume that most people come in that way, and the woods up here are way more open. So much nicer. So hopefully that will be shorter and faster. All right, let's have some lunch. About halfway back to the trail, heading straight for the view ledges on South Paugus. So that's kind of it through the trees there. And we've been coming down here. You might be able to see a little bit of cliff band right there. There was a little cliff band up there. It was pretty easily navigated coming down on this side. I think it's the same cliff band that we hit climbing up. Oh, that was terrible. But actually, I kind of went along the side of it. I'm not sure how John's experience was with that, but both of us were crawling. It's not great. So this is pretty open here. But as you can see, lots of blowdowns. But definitely, this is the way to do it. Don't come in from Old Shag Camp. Okay, so we just popped back out on the trail right here, and it was good going right here. We actually, I was sort of aiming for the south peak, but we came out right on the 3,000 foot line where it intersects the trail to the west of that. So
a little bit to go.
Still have to go back to the view, but that worked out well. Some frozen. Well, they're not. They're false chanterelles, I think. Chanterelles. That tree has had some tasty bugs in it.
Looks like people may have gone in through here.
Yeah, I think this. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. That looks like a nice place to start. Okay. Well, there you have it. So either way, where I had planned is not the way people go.
Well, you learn when you come out.
Now you know. All right. Next thing will be the view ledges. I don't think there's going to be much of a view, but we'll go check it out. We're up at the view ledge now on South Paugus. This is Whiteface right here. That's Whiteface. And Passaconaway right there. And snow squalls. Okay, I have a little view out looking due south. So this is the Ossipes right in front of us. Mount Shaw is right in the center. I'll zoom in. And then in the center now, in the distance, are the bell maps. Okay, and then looking, well, actually over here, there would be a view of Passaconaway. There is. It's got snow between us and it, though. So that's Passaconaway right there. And then, oh, you can't see Whiteface. It's totally in the cloud. Okay. There it is. Now we are at an area that gets quite steep descending, so I think there's only like 0.2 of a mile before we get to our junction with Beeline. We're going to take it across and take it all the way to the Bolus Trail and then take that down. So All right, let's go descend this. Okay, we just climbed down the last of the ledge right back there on Old Paugus that we're gonna have to deal with. And we abruptly entered hardwoods, so it's much sunnier, well, brighter down here. It's not sunny. And things should go a lot faster now. Man, that was the kind of slow going. The bushwhack that we chose to go in was totally the wrong thing to do. Do not recommend that. And I guess you don't, I thought maybe people would go in from the view ledge area, but I guess they don't. So if you're coming from the Old Paugus side, you need to continue on the Lawrence Trail a few tenths. Be looking for open woods and a herd path. Okay, my other video, last one might have been cut off, but basically we're back here now at the intersection with Beeline Trail and Beeline Cutoff. We came up Beeline Cutoff from Bolus, or Bowles, however you pronounce that, and we're gonna junction with it over here. We're gonna take Beeline this way and it will hit another part of Bowles. And then we're gonna take a right on that and head back towards the car. We've done the other side of Bowles already, which has many, many water crossings. So you want to be careful doing that trail if the water is high. We're on Beeline heading towards Chicorowa now, and I knew there was a water crossing here. It's looking not wonderful, but I think I can do it. But I don't know if John can, because his boots are not super waterproof. Could always wait it. All right, we're right at the edge of wilderness right here too. Right there. He's thinking about crossing there. Let's go. Okay, so we just came upstream. I don't know, like 75 yards. I'm gonna say maybe 100 yards to cross on this. We're not all the way across yet, but piece of cake here. And the woods, as you can see, are nicely open. I mean, there really was nothing where you could get through there. Even if you waited, it was whipping in so fast, like through chutes like that. Just not safe. So I'm just gonna go right up here and then climb up this little embankment. Okay, so that's where we crossed, and we popped out. Up the embankment is the trail. So when we were at the crossing, that was where we were going to pick up Bolus Trail. That's what that sign was over here on the other side. And the wilderness sign is across the way. Okay, I believe that's Whiting Brook, and it's also marked as a possible. Well, that looks like a trail there. It's not though, is it? Is it a trail there? Oh, that's Beeline still. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here's Beeline sign. And this is the water crossing that we could not do somewhere. Yeah, right here. And then the wilderness sign is right across the way. Okay. And Beeline continues up. But we're heading this way now, because we've done that section of Beeline. Yay. Okay. Next stop for us is going to be Bickford. It's Bickford. Yeah. So we're going to do the little chunk of Bickford that we have left. We are on the bottom of the Bickford Trail now. And this is not the trail. It's kind of weird. The trail is actually up there, again, like 100 yards up, but it doesn't, you can't see where it goes once it crosses. So there's no safe crossing. John's gonna scooch his way across, and I might go down and walk across over there. I don't know. Anyway, Bickford Trail. We both made it across on that tree. That kind of was the only place to cross without really getting wet. We looked both up and downstream. The trail is blazed in blue, and from where we hit the brook right there. You could not look across and see where you were gonna go. But once we crossed over on that tree, we bushwhacked up towards it, and it's blazed. You just couldn't see it. So anyway, all right, that was exciting. Hopefully that's the last exciting thing on this. Should be about a half a mile to get to the junction with Brook Trail. We're on Brook Trail now, and we just did a crossing right there, actually right through that down tree. The trail maintainers have cut that tree so you can walk right through it, and I was able to rock hop no problem. And hopefully, I think that's it for the water crossings now, and we'll be back to the car less than a mile, which is good because it's 4 o'clock right now, so it'd be nice to get out before it gets dark. Wow, so that was I guess that was a successful day. We knocked off a bunch of trail segments that we needed for our White Mountain guide, and got to the summit of Paugus for the 500 highest. Definitely would recommend going in from the Lawrence Trail and not trying to go by the old shag camp. That was a disaster. But yeah, other than that, I think this is gonna be like 8.5 miles maybe for me. And yeah, it's still precipitating all day. We had something, but could have definitely been worse.